I think we are live. Hello world and welcome to a bridge where there's 2 trains currently passing. 3 trains, we are live. Yes, indeed we are. It's evening here in Tokyo. It's soon 7 o'clock and we have a pretty glorious sunset going on over there in that direction. But since I did a sunset stream just 2 days ago, I felt that it would be a bit boring to do another one tonight. So instead tonight I'm planning to walk to Jiyugaoka, which is a pretty nice neighborhood, about an hour on foot from here. And here is of course Tamagawa, where I often start my streams because it's convenient for me because I live here. And this, I think it's the first time ever I see actually someone doing SUP on Tama River. That's not something I see every day, so it's a little bit funny. Or funny, but interesting. Kind of a unique sight for me. And also, yeah, I'm next to a big road now, so sorry if it's a little bit noisy. Yeah, this is a popular recreational spot, this area near the river, especially at this time of the day. It's very comfortable to come down and sit down here. However, they're doing some pretty major construction over there. I think they're building like new safety walls to prevent from floods. So it used to be very easy to get down here, but now we have to take a long detour and it's a bit of a mess, but hopefully that will be sorted out soon. And of course, I know, oh, look at that sunset. It really looks like a big glowing blood orange. Beautiful. And I'm sure some of you are craving a weather report, because that's what you always do. And it says Kawasaki, even though I'm on the Tokyo side of the river. 27 degrees. And we are of course approaching sunset, which happens technically in another 12 minutes. 47% humidity right now, which isn't too bad. It's been another hot day today, like another hottest day of the year. I think it was well over 31, 32 degrees today during the daytime. I was out for a little while in Tamagawa area with my daughter, and as long as we stayed in the shade it wasn't too bad, because the area is built so in a way so that there's always a lot of wind coming through, which can be quite annoying, but also on hot days like this it can be quite nice actually. And yeah, as long as we stayed in the shade it wasn't too bad. So it felt like summer. But this is just the beginning. It's getting worse. And you will hear me repeat this phrase on probably every stream until we're at peak summer, which will happen sometime, I think just in time for the Olympics. We will probably reach peak summer. But yeah, I think today's stream will be roughly 2 hours in length, and I am looking forward to a beer break somewhere along the way. I think I deserve one because I've been taking care of my daughter the entire day. So now I have these 2 hours for my stream, for my own, a little bit of alone time, even though couple of hundreds of you are joining me, but anyway, yeah. I really wish they built like some sort of shortcut down to ground level from here, instead of forcing us to always walk around this entire area. Already 200 people has tuned in. Wow. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Yes, Lucas, you miss walking here. I hope you can come back sometime. That would be great. Then we can go on a walk through Jiyugaoka together. And McGuffin, I saw your comment about the vaccine. Good luck with that. Great that you're getting your first shot. Actually, I have a little bit of news regarding the vaccine situation here in Japan. They're actually pretty much up to speed now. I think there are about 700,000 people every day getting a shot, which isn't too bad. And I think I will be able to get vaccinated quite soon, which is a very pleasant surprise. I didn't expect to be vaccinated until like next year sometime, but it seems like they will open up later this month for basically anyone over the age of 18 to get vaccinated. It depends a little bit on your ward and where you live, but it's happening way sooner than expected that they will actually start sending out these kind of tickets that we need in order to make the reservation. Then there's of course always the potential for it being the system being overwhelmed and making the booking might take a while, but still I did not expect that we would be able to technically make a booking this soon. So that's very good news. And there's also, while we're on the subject, there's also some talk about Japan wanting to join this vaccine passport program to some extent. The one that's currently being discussed in the EU and that they're planning to start from, I think, from next month. So it's very unclear still what they mean by that. If they will, open up to anyone with a vaccine, which I highly doubt. But they're planning to do something, and which means that they are recognizing people who got vaccinated abroad. So that's also very positive news. So good job. I mean, I've been bashing the vaccine program here in Japan quite a lot, but credit where credit is due, and I think really this sounds pretty promising. So good job. I was convinced that I would have to go back to Sweden in order to get vaccinated this year, but maybe I won't have to. And hopefully this 700,000 per day number is not the peak. It looks like it's still increasing, so they've said that the goal is 1 million people per day. So yeah. Which vaccine? So in Japan they have now approved 3 vaccines: Pfizer, Moderna and AstraZeneca. But they're not using AstraZeneca in Japan, so they only use Pfizer and Moderna. Yeah, that's the ones. And I think we kind of can choose, because they have they built some large-scale vaccination centers, and those use Moderna, and the smaller clinics are using the AstraZeneca vaccine. So yeah, that's the so depending on where we decide to book, we can kind of indirectly also choose which one of those two vaccines we're getting. So we are now passing Takamagawa Station over there. So the streets are somewhat crowded. Everybody's like coming home from work around this time, so it's way more crowded now compared to when I was out with my daughter a few hours ago. So, let's see, now we're passing under the train track, so it's a bit loud. Can you tell us something about the North Korean community in Tokyo? Not really, no. I'm not so familiar with that community, so no. I don't know what I would tell you. These small doggos. Very cute. So I'm thinking which route to take. I think I will walk through Tamagawa Park. Maybe we will get a nice little view of people watching the sunset, or sunset will probably be gone by the time we get there, but there must still be some nice colors in the sky. William Surya, is there any area in Tokyo that is not nice, that you dislike, not prefer? Difficult question. There are areas that I think are severely overrated, which would be a lot of Minato-ku. Minato-ku is often considered like one of the best places to live in Tokyo, and one which is the most popular among rich expats. And I get it, it's like, it's convenient, but it's also pretty boring in my opinion, and it's insanely expensive to live there, which, yeah, I would much rather spend that kind of money on living in a place that has a little bit more character and soul. And I say that as I walk through this soulless place. Yeah, like Roppongi, for example, I would not want to live in Roppongi. Especially, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that area. But other than that, I mean, I think pretty much everywhere in Tokyo has quite a lot of charm. especially the areas that has not been like rebuilt from the scratch, like around here. Like this is all brand new. Like all these buildings are like 10 years old at most. Everything else is like, yeah. So I'm sure this area was much nicer before. But what else? Yeah, in general, like the older parts of Tokyo are very nice, in my opinion. So they just finished building the beer garden again. They have this every summer here, this outdoor beer garden. I think this one, I don't know, maybe it opened today. It looks, oh, maybe it's not done yet. No, it's not done yet. It's still partly under construction. Maybe they will open for this weekend then. Or is it already open? Not sure. Looks like there's some sort of staff training going on. But what I do like about living here though, and one of the reasons why this area is quite popular, especially among families, is that basically the entire area, it's very easy to walk around here with a stroller, and there's like no, like you can walk around without having to worry about cars at all in a pretty big area. So that's very nice. That's like one of the good things about living here. And I'm also quite fond of these like rooftop gardens. There's one up there which is actually way better than this one. Maybe, yeah. Well, I shouldn't stick around here for too long today, as we have quite a bit of a walk to go. But those of you who has followed me for a while know that I often tend to end some of my walks around here by taking a beer up in the rooftop garden over there. The bridge is in front of me, this one. Oh, it's just a part of this entire district. Everything is like connected with bridges like this. So, sorry. Need to check the chat. It's already, what, almost 300 people has tuned in, and I haven't really been reading your messages at all so far. Sorry about that. Modern ABC complex. Yes, exactly. That's what we call these. They used to build a lot of these back in the, when was that? 60s in Sweden. These kind of neighborhoods that combines residential blocks and entertainment and shopping facilities within like, yeah, easy to walk distances, which is quite convenient, I guess, but it often tends to end up being a little bit, yeah, soulless and boring. Although I do enjoy walking around here, especially at night. Actually, it's quite nice when it's very, very quiet and nicely lit up. What's in the distance? Sky tree or bridge? I'm not sure what you are talking about, but probably not Sky Tree. You cannot see Sky Tree from ground level around here. Maybe if we were like up in one of these buildings, we would be able to see Sky Tree. Which of these towers do you reside in? Unfortunately, I don't live in any of these. It would have been quite nice though. I'm sure the view must be pretty amazing, and it's also very convenient as it's close to the station, and no, you don't have to worry about any cars. But the place we live is way more humble. The apartments in here are very expensive. Maybe for like 70 square meters you would have to pay at least $1 million. Sometimes I check the prices just for fun, and like people sometimes rent them out for like 400,000-500,000 yen per month for an apartment in here. Sometimes even more expensive, but then it's like a penthouse maybe. Then they ask for like twice of that. Still some pretty nice colors in the sky over here. Let's see, once we get over to the park, we get a nice panorama. $7 p.m. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Blue hour is coming up. Blue hour is coming up fast. And I think we have a nice blue hour walk to Jiyugaoka actually. The evenings are getting longer and longer. The blue colors in the sky tend to be around for quite a long time now, compared to in the winter where it feels like sun sets and then it's like pitch black half an hour later. Now we actually have a proper blue hour. It's a little bit hazy today, so I don't think we can see Mount Fuji. No Mount Fuji today. I wonder, there's actually a nice little, no, it's over there and it's closed. There's like a nice Japanese garden down there that I don't think I've actually showed you on the stream before, but they tend to close pretty early, and yeah, it's not open now. So now someone asked where I am. Now I'm in Tamagawa Park. Tamagawa Koen. And Tamagawa is this neighborhood in the south of Tokyo. About 10 minutes from Shibuya if you take the express train. So let's see. Here we have a nice, I think I did a few beer breaks here as well on these stairs. They're also a pretty good place for beer breaks. Let's see. Sun is gone now. But yeah, this is a nice place. Nice place for beers or other drinks as well. But for me, it's the ideal beer break place. But it's too early for a beer break now, so I won't be doing that. Let's keep on walking towards towards Jiyugaoka. Jiyugaoka までまだ遠い。そうですね。だいたい1時間ぐらいかかると思います。And the walk from here, oh yeah, and over there again, keep mentioning it, but that's Musashi Kosugi over there. I walked to Musashi Kosugi last week. Pretty much walked to every neighborhood. And also there is the Amazon, I think one of their main warehouses in the Tokyo region, actually. It's not hugely expensive in Tamagawa. Tamagawa is a very big area though. You should make sure that you check Futako Tamagawa. Because if you check just Tamagawa, that's another area actually, which is about an hour this way, and not as modernized and not as popular as this area. But if you check Futako Tamagawa, but you can probably find something for that kind of price around here too. That sounds reasonable. You're just not gonna get one in these towers for that kind of money, but you can certainly find apartments for 150,000 yen in this area as well. Oh yeah, John Dow used to live around here. I didn't know that. Or maybe I did. Maybe someone mentioned it before, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice area. I like it here. It's especially now with the baby. It's nice to have, plenty of greenery around here, and it doesn't feel as suffocating as living in central Tokyo can do. Does Japan have big spiders? It really depends on what you define as big. Now there's some nice colors. I need to take a photo of this. They have bigger spiders than Sweden, but smaller spiders than Australia, I think. They don't have any dangerous spiders though, as far as I know, here in Japan. There's not that many dangerous or poisonous animals or insects at all, actually. There's a few snakes, some sort of centipede that you need to be a bit careful when you're around, and what else? Bears. But yeah, most of the walk to Jiyugaoka will be through relatively quiet areas and streets like this from now on. At least one dangerous spider which is originally from Australia. Oh really? I did not know that. Is that dangerous poisonous spider? Does it live around the Tokyo area, or is it more like on maybe some of the more tropical islands? Or would be interesting to know. Yeah, we often see these pretty big spiders, at least big by my standards, which tend to build nets over like walking paths in forests and stuff. Pretty big spiders which are black and yellow, but as far as I know, those are not dangerous to humans. And yes, Japan has giant water salamanders. That's true. I've actually met one of those. I was on a press tour to Tottori Prefecture, and they have those giant salamanders. And we joined a night walk with a scientist, a guy who did research on these salamanders. So we actually got to meet one, which was pretty funny, pretty interesting. Man. I don't know if you asked me before, but Gifu, I think I've been to Gifu. I think Shirakawa-go is in Gifu prefecture, right? I've been to Shirakawa-go, but that's probably the only place I've been in Gifu. Oh yeah, there's fugu in Japan, which is dangerous too. That's true. And maybe my biggest annoyance among the kind of dangerous animals in Japan, which is the what do you call them? Like the I got a blackout in my brain right now. The jelly squiggly thing living in the ocean, manatee, which can sting you, and that's really painful. It happened to me once, and now I'm always afraid of getting into the water. So yeah, that's not nice. Jellyfish, that's the word I was looking for, yes. Those are not my favorite things in Japan. Was it the native giant salamander or the invasive Chinese giant salamander? I think the native one, but I'm not sure. It's the one that's called Osansho in Japanese. Literally big pepperfish, which is a funny name for salamander. Sea urchin, yeah, that's true. They can be dangerous too, right? But they're not like deadly. But yeah, you can probably hurt yourself pretty badly on them. Yeah, shark attacks isn't something we hear about here in Japan. I don't know if it ever happens, but if it does, it's probably very, very rare. We're crossing under the highway. This is another one of the big highways that connects Tokyo to Kanagawa Prefecture in the south. So we sometimes use this one when we go to IKEA to buy furniture, because there's an IKEA about 20 to 30 minutes drive from here. So when we just moved into our place, we went there quite often. It's been a while since our last visit though. If there are foxes in the city, I don't know. Daisan Keihin, that's the name of this. Foxes in the city, I think pretty rare. Not in Tokyo. I don't think there's foxes in Tokyo. But maybe in smaller cities you might stumble across those. What are the challenges to live in Japan, specifically in Tokyo? Wow. Pretty open question. I don't know. What should I say? it's a pretty livable place in general, especially if you're self-employed and you don't have to work for a company. Then I think it's a very nice place to live. Probably one of the nicer major cities in the world. That's at least why I stayed here for so long. The challenges is mostly because that's kind of the main reason, but then also to me, I've lived here for so long, I'm getting a little bit homesick, and I miss, like, Tokyo is a very crowded place. You have to travel pretty far in order to get out in the nature, like real nature, which Japan has a lot of, by the way, but yeah, it's not as accessible as it is in the cities I lived in. If it's always this quiet, yeah, this is a very quiet residential neighborhood, so around here it's pretty much always this quiet. I will head a few blocks up soon and walk along the tracks of really super residential. Maybe we can walk up here. Oh yeah, I actually watched the Chris Broad video about not moving to Japan, and ever spot tanuki? I've seen tanuki a couple of times, yeah, in the city. Not around here, but when I was living in Shimokitazawa, I saw some tanuki actually. Todayは何キロぐらい歩きますか？何キロだろうね。調べましょう。Someone asks how long my walk will be today. Not so long. 4.3 キロ。あんまり遠くない。Are we having a bit of signal issues around here? Sorry about that. It happens. It happens. Ah, 木の田公園は多分タヌキが多いかな。Toto, you wasn't able to hear my thoughts on the video. The Chris Broad video about reasons why not to move to Japan. I think all I said was that I watched it and I pretty much agreed with most of the things he said. I don't really remember. Like, nothing really stood out to me. So I think I probably agreed with everything. Every 毎日たくさん歩くならダイエットになる。そうですね。でもほぼ毎日もビールを飲んでるからプラスマイナスゼロかな。あんまり痩せてない。残念ながら。Yeah, I do walk almost every day, but I'm not losing any weight. Probably because I also drink beer. And I also eat a lot. I eat a lot of sweets, and now it's ice cream season. I love ice cream. So yeah, at least I'm not gaining a ton of weight, so that's a good thing. So ですね、今日もビール飲むと思います。Wait, am I? Maybe I'm walking the wrong direction. I think I am. That was kind of clumsy of me. Let's see. Indeed, I am walking in the wrong direction. I need to head up here. This way. Okay, now we're on the right track again. So, たくさん歩いた後はビールとっても美味しいです。今日も美味しくなると思います。Never expected to see vending machines in neighborhood areas like this. Oh, there's vending machines everywhere in Japan. So, yeah. You should never be surprised to find a vending machine anywhere. Honestly, they're pretty easy to find almost everywhere. And this, I really love Musashi Kosugi at dusk like this. I don't think it comes across very well. I wish I had a zoom lens to switch to right now, but it's pretty beautiful. And T in chat says everywhere. That's 100% factual. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much everywhere. Even in the middle of, like, nowhere on the countryside, you should not be too surprised if you stumble across a vending machine. I wonder what's happening here. I think there's an old danchi, which is these, like, cheapish residential blocks, usually owned by the government, or sometimes they're owned by companies and they use them for housing for their employees. But I think this is probably about to get demolished soon. この辺一番近い駅はどこ？わかんない。上野毛か轟と思います。多分轟の方が近いと思います。So someone asked what's the closest station from here. I think it's probably Todoroki on the Uemachi line. Tamagawa Noge Koen. Ah, this is an old, like, grave. Kofun. Like the very, very old grave sites. This mound here. This is one of those. I actually don't think I've been here. It sounds like there's some people up there. And those stairs looks too daunting, so I'm not going up. By the way, is the super chat broken, or is everybody just broke after supporting me so much in the last couple of videos? I think it's 45 minutes with 0 super chats. That's a bit surprising. Do you watch baseball? No, I don't. Koshien, I don't know if it's held twice every year. But baseball is still popular. That question I can answer. baseball is still very much popular, yes. Yeah, here's like a Lexus dealer. So I think, didn't we talk about the supercar fund? I'm still not able to buy one, that's for sure. Everybody's broke. Okay, thank you, Indy Fern. Thank you so much for the €1. Thank you so much. Supporting us through Patreon. Yeah, that's of course, that's the best way to support me. I think we just passed 125 supporters on Patreon, so that's a nice little number. That's a nice little number, so thank you. Big thanks to everybody who is supporting me there. Thank you, Michael Semira. And also thank you to the Patreon supporter who just messaged me and said that he or she is watching me during a business meeting. Thank you. I think that's probably one of the best ways to spend a business meeting. Takashi さん、ありがとうございます。今日は暑い。暖かい。暑いです。今は気持ちいい。でも昼は暑かった。What do you love most about Japan? Another one of these classical questions, but I never get tired of talking about it actually. The safety of Japan is pretty amazing. That's definitely one of the best things about living here. Safety, and that most things just work. The trains run when they're supposed to. The packet you mailed arrives when it's supposed to. That Amazon order you did, you know, if you tell them to come and deliver it between 10 to 12 in the morning, they will come between 10 to 12 in the morning. Things like that are pretty great. Thank you, Rockaway Siren. Thank you so much. And I also like the fact that most people are very nice. And generally, you know, care about each other and the local area. So yeah, there's a lot of things to love about living in Japan. There's a lot of things that I will definitely miss a lot once I leave this place. Oh, Joel Öhman, thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Now it starts coming. Thank you. Once I mentioned it, then you guys open your wallets. Thank you. It's very nice. Now at least I definitely have beer money. Healthcare. Well, healthcare isn't bad, but I'm from Sweden, which I would say is maybe, yeah, on a similar level. I don't know which one is better, but in Sweden we don't even have to pay for health insurance. But here in Japan we pay quite a lot every month for health insurance. So, but definitely compared to many countries, healthcare in Japan is pretty good, for sure. Quietness also, yeah. I like that. Even in a busy city like Tokyo, there are always quiet streets, such as this one, not too far away. So that's definitely also a big plus. However, Sweden is also pretty quiet once you leave the city center. So yeah. Are SIM plans expensive in Japan? No, I don't think so. Not anymore. They used to be quite expensive compared to other countries, but now, so I have two plans. One is Rakuten Mobile, which is 3,000 yen per month for unlimited data, and the other one is Docomo, which I used to pay 7,500 yen per month for unlimited data, but now, since I will be in Tokyo for the coming months, I switched to a cheaper plan. So now I only have 20 gigs of data per month from my Docomo plan, and for that I pay also 3,000 yen per month. But Docomo has much better coverage than Rakuten. What else? Oh wait, yeah, I'm not sure which direction I should go right here actually. I think we're next to the Todoroki ravine, so I might, but I think I need to have a look at a map, because right now I'm not sure which direction I'm heading. Oh, okay, now I know. This is the bridge over the ravine. So for those of you who has watched my Todoroki ravine walks, this is that red bridge that you can see in that video. So I'm crossing it now, and let's see, I think the ravine is pretty much pitch black. Yeah, it's not lit up at all at night, so it's not very it would be nice to do a night walk in the Todoroki ravine, but yeah, I would obviously need some sort of torch. Thank you, Pete Smith. Thank you. You're thankful that my modeling career didn't last long, because then I maybe wouldn't be doing these videos. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm also thankful that my modeling career didn't last that long. It was fun while it lasted though, but yeah. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, so I shared some old photos to my Patreon supporters from when I just had arrived in Japan, and when I had a very brief little stint at the career as a fashion model. So yeah, that's what he's talking about. Modeling like modeling. Yeah, like in fashion magazines. So I shared some photos from a magazine called Popeye, which is a pretty big fashion magazine here in Japan. I was in that magazine back in 2008. So a long time ago. I think this can also be a potential thumbnail photo. Let's see once the train arrives. Hopefully no car behind me. Oh, car did come. Okay, let me check the chat again. Oh, thank you. Another super. Oh, that was Pete Smith. Nah, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes. Is it safe to walk at night? Yes. Japan is, or Tokyo is, probably the safest major city in the world. I feel safe basically all the time, everywhere here, which I can't say about any other place I've lived actually. So that's definitely one of the best things about living here. The safety is just so nice. So we streamed for almost an hour. Shall we get a beer? Let's get a beer. Oh, thank you, Maria Guess. Thank you so much for the super chat, and also thank you, Vigilante. Wow, now everybody got super generous. オーストラリアからありがとう。ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. Yeah, let's get a beer. Oh, nice. They have some Gold Master, but this is fake beer. Beer-like alcoholic beverage. It's beer-like, it's not beer. I think I will try the good old frog beer tonight. Let's get some sweets as well. Let's get this semi-dried peach. そのままで。
年齢確認の証明書の提示をお願いする場合がございます。
あ、大丈夫です。ありがとうございます。Okay, we got a frog beer and we got some dried peach. Semi-dried peach. Not just dried peach, but just semi-dried. Interesting. So let's find a place where we can indulge. And thank you so much. I noticed... Wait, let me just put this away so that I have both my hands free again. Are they renovating this station? Or did it always had a bit? No, it probably always had this roof. It just looks a bit different. And this is pretty new actually. They built like this administrative office here. This building, I think it was finished like probably less than a year ago. So actually when me and my wife got married and when we registered our marriage here in Japan, we went to not this place, but they had like a temporary building a few blocks down there where we went to hand in the paper, and we became officially man and husband, or wife and husband, man and wife, husband and wife. So let's see. Thank you, Rosie Vlocky, for the super chats. And 唐揚げも食べましょう。じゃあ唐揚げはあんまり好きじゃない実は。Which train line is it? This is the Tokyo Oimachi line. Are you going to go through Kuhombutsu? Yes, I am. I will walk along the train tracks basically all the way to Jiyugaoka. Maybe with a few detours here and there, but basically just following the train tracks. +400 people watching now. Thank you and welcome everyone. If there are any new viewers out there, I recommend that you take a look at the video description, where you will find a FAQ where I answer some of the common questions that I always get, like where am I from, what do I do in Japan, for how long have I lived here, what camera do I use, and all those things that people always tend to ask. Once you've read that, you are more than welcome to write in the chat if you have any questions, or basically anything you want the rest of the world to know. How was the photo of the train? Good questions. Good question. Let's check. Let's find out. I think, let's see. I think with a bit of touch-up, this might turn out into a usable thumbnail. But who knows? We might stumble across something better later during this walk. Kenneth Vincent asks about the Tamagawa Mega Walk. Yes, I do plan to continue that. Absolutely. Sorry, let's just wait until the train has passed. Yes, I do plan on continuing that walk. It's just lately my schedule has been a little bit complicated, and basically it's a full day project to go out there. Just to get to the starting point takes me well over an hour. But I hope I'll be able to continue that walk soon, because I kind of want to finish it so that I can start another ambitious walking project in maybe in the more central parts of the city. So yeah, it's coming, but unfortunately I can't say when. I can only say that it is coming. Someone asks about Japanese banks. Yes, Japanese banks are really quite cumbersome to deal with. Yes, I don't like them, and I think most foreigners living in Japan tend to have a pretty negative view of the banking system here in Japan. It's very old-fashioned, and everything is very slow and costs a lot. So yeah, they're getting better. At least now they have like actually decent online banking systems. When I first came here, they had it back then, but they were really bad, at least the ones I used. But these days I find the banks are getting better in their online functions, but it's like very complicated. Like first time when you're gonna send money back home or send money from a different country to your own account here in Japan, you need to fill out a bunch of papers, and it's pretty complicated. But once you have that set up, then it's easier to do like transfers to that same account again. Oh, this looks nice. Oh, I didn't know they have a shop here. They used to have this one in Jiyugaoka, actually. I need to take a photo of this and send to my wife. She will be pleased to know that they open another branch. Time for beer and coffee. Well, now I have a beer. Otherwise I would have considered getting something from them. But yeah. Beer and coffee in one place. Exactly. I could spend my entire day there. Basically they have everything I need. Why did you marry a Japanese girl? Because I like her. That's the simple answer. Because she's pretty awesome. My wife. Doesn't really have anything to do with her nationality though. You pay bills at home as in Sweden? Yes, you can. You can. But usually it's easier to go to the convenience store and pay them, actually. Because in order to pay them through your online bank, you usually need to kind of set them up for automatic deductions. So yeah. Virgil B, I'm watching for the first time. Greetings from the Netherlands. Hello, thank you and welcome. Hope you are not watching for the last time. I hope you will stay as a viewer. I do random walks in random parts of Tokyo and elsewhere almost every day on this channel. And almost every day I also sit down somewhere and drink beer and talk to my viewers. That's pretty much what this channel is about. Walks in unfamous places and beer breaks. That's the two pillars. Because of the visa? No, I already had several long-term visas before I met my wife, so I'd never really had any issues with the visa, so that was never really any issue for me. Do you like yakitori? I do, yes. Yakitori is very nice. I really love small local yakitori shops. Especially before the pandemic. Now, I don't know, they're not very... It doesn't feel great to go to yakitori restaurants during the pandemic because they're usually very small and you sit close to everybody. And people tend to get drunk and speak loudly. So that's a bit unfortunate. Haven't been having yakitori at a proper yakitori restaurant in a long time, actually. You're screwed in Japan if you want to withdraw money because the ATM is closed. It really depends on the bank. I haven't really had that problem much. I have a few different banks that I use, but basically with Sony banks you can use most ATMs. And I also have an account with 7-Eleven's bank, which you can find at every 7-Eleven, and there's like 7-Eleven everywhere. And those ATMs are always open as far as I know. But if you have an account with a more like regional bank, especially in the like yeah, not in Tokyo, but somewhere else in Japan, there are lots of smaller regional banks, and they are still a little bit weird like that they are only having certain operating hours for their ATMs, which is very, very strange. 日本酒は好きですか？そうですね。日本酒は好き。Oi! Sorry to everyone who just got a heart attack. 日本酒大好き。大好き。でもそんなに飲まないけど、よく仕事中でちょっと豪華な旅館とかホテルに行くときに美味しい食べ物となんか美味しい日本酒組み合わせの料理がある。それが大好きです。Your last post on Insta was on 27th March. Yeah, that was probably the last time I used my camera as well, because I haven't really taken any photos other than with my phones since then. So that's one of the reasons. I don't really like to post phone photos on my Instagram, as I use my Instagram more as a kind of portfolio for my travel photography. But yeah, I should probably dig out some old photos from the archive and just post, because I still have lots of things that deserves to go up there that I haven't posted yet. But I don't know, it's just since my last work trip my schedule just got very tight, because I'm mostly, I'm spending so many hours every day taking care of the little one, and when you're taking care of a 10-month-old baby, you can't even find the time to post on Instagram. That's how busy it is to have a baby. Unless when she sleeps. But then I'm so tired, so then I want to rest a little bit as well, usually. But yeah. Prosit. Tack. Gesundheit. Does all Japanese banks use the ancient cash card? Yeah, it's always cash card, I think. So basically the card that you get for the bank is only to withdraw money from the ATM. Then some of them have like debit functionality as well, but my card for the Shinsei Bank is only for the ATM withdrawals. I can't pay for stuff with it. So yeah, that's also a little bit odd. Let's see if we can find somewhere to sit down. I'm starting to crave that beer. Do you prefer to drive car? No, I don't have a driver's license nor a car, so we don't drive. Sometimes we rent a car when we're on vacation. My wife has a driver's license, so then she drives, but that's basically the only time. And sometimes also we use our in-laws' car. What's the current location? I think I am approaching Kuhombutsu, which is the stop before Jiyugaoka. Soon I think I will be there, but I'm not really sure. I'm just wandering around these residential neighborhoods. Let's see. How much of a delay is it usually on the stream? Roughly maybe 30 seconds is my guess. But sometimes I notice that people lag behind way more, but then it's usually because of their computer. But I would say roughly 30 seconds. Michael Simira says 10 seconds. Okay, is it that short? Maybe. Is there any road rage in Japan? Yes, it is, and it's actually seems like it's on the increase. At least there's quite often reports about it on Japanese TV. Oh, that's a fancy house. Yeah, it happens quite often. Is there any other ATM other than 7-Eleven we can withdraw money from if we're using Visa or MasterCard? I think these days most of the convenience stores ATMs can be used to withdraw money from like abroad. But I'm not sure. At least Japan Post and 7-Eleven, those work for sure. Citibank also used to be an option, but I don't think they're around anymore. Wow, this house looks like it's under construction. No? They have a pretty spacious second floor. Very nice. I need to check the map just to make sure that I'm on the right track. Pretty sure I am, but just to be on the safe side. Yep. Ah, okay, so I'm approaching the Shinji Temple soon, where I did a stream not too long ago. And I think around there we can probably sit down and drink this beer, because I know that there's a little playground. Playground, now people get offended again. You can't drink beer around kids. You can't drink beer on a playground. But in Japan we can. No one will think that it's strange to do that here. Alexander Geronimo, the answer to your question is in the FAQ in the video description. Yoru no tera wa chotto kowai. そうですね。多分入らないと思います。お寺は多分今入らないですよね。そうですね。そこはなんかメインの入り口ですけど、今は入れない。もう営業終了かな。So let's have a beer here. Another day, another beer at the playground. At least there's no kids playing around here right now, so hopefully no one will get offended among you, my dear viewers. So I will attach my dear little mini tripod and sit down here for a while. And for those of you who are new to my channel, so usually what I do during these beer breaks is that I sit down and I focus a little bit more on the chat. So if you have any questions or anything, yeah, now's your chance to ask. Frog beer. This has probably been shaken quite a lot, so I think it will explode now. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Kapai! Skål! I like this one, even though alcohol percentage, because I know that someone will ask, alcohol percentage is only 4.5. So it's a pretty weak one, but it's tasty nonetheless. And also let's open these semi-dried peach and see what they're like. Looks like this. Tasty. Good. Okay. Oh, thank you, Cassandra. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, that's a slide. That's a slide. That is indeed a slide. Jenny Skunk, welcome. Did you just arrive? Didn't see you in the chat before. Mickey, your son used to play in this park. Wow, nice. You lived around here? Such a nice area to live. Oh, little alcohol percentage and calories. Does it even say the calorie count? I don't think the can says the number of calories. No, it doesn't.ビール飲む見つける場所は一番大事。そうですね。一番大事かな。結構大事ですね。It's strange hearing your unmasked, unmuffled voice. Oh, really? I often pull down the mask though when I'm walking on quiet streets and there's no one around. Yeah. Is it made with frogs? No. Have you tasted most canned beer brands in Tokyo? I think so. I mean, of the ones that they sell in the supermarkets and like convenience stores, I've probably tasted most of them. But if you go to a more specialized liquor shop, then there's tons and tons of brands that I haven't had. Like, I mean, I don't really drink beer much when, like, besides when I stream. So the beers I drink are the beers that you see. So I don't have like a stack of unique craft beers stored at home or anything like that. Jenny watching football. Hey, is that all you're having for dinner? No, I had dinner before the stream. So I cooked a very simple pasta salad because it's been such a hot weather. So I made like a Greek pasta salad with like some Greek feta cheese. Very simple, but good on days like this. Amazing that you speak 4 languages. Thank you, I guess. Half pants. そうですね。虫に注意。まあ、虫かな。僕はスウェーデン人だからそんなに蚊がそんなに気にならない。日本人はすごい蚊がすごい心配してる。僕はまあ刺されるもしょうがない。夏だからしょうがない。So one kind of interesting difference between Japan and Sweden that I noticed is that here in Japan, people are extremely concerned about mosquito bites and mosquitoes. To me, in Sweden, being bit by mosquitoes, that's just I don't know, a part of the summer. It's like inevitable, and sure, it itches a little bit, but that's about it. But here people really go great lengths to avoid being bit by mosquitoes and buy all sorts of products to avoid it. Yeah. 氷結とかお茶割りとかウイスキーは美味しい。僕の方がビール好きです。And yes, McCuffin, it is frog beer o'clock right now. Have you walked around this area in the afternoon? Yes, many times, many times. Do you cook much? No, maybe on average 3 times, 2-3 times per week. Always some sort of pasta. That's basically the only thing I know how to cook. I'm a really, really bad chef. このチャンネルは営業の勉強になる。ああ、いいね。よかった。嬉しいです。Some people, my fiancé, to name one, gets these huge rashes from normal mosquito bites. Yeah, some people are kind of a bit allergic to mosquitoes, I guess, which kind of, then I guess it makes sense, but otherwise, like, I don't know. Malaria does not exist in Japan, so no, people are not really worried. Oh, thank you, Fungus, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Now we gotta find some kimchi and natto. Yes, we always do. When Fungus is in the house, then we need kimchi and natto. Yes, little shrine. That's pretty much my routine. Look for a canned beer, a nice place to sit down and drink it, and a garbage can. Yes, and also some comments about how many people leaving the chat when I drink my beer. So far it's dropped by what, 70 people? Yeah. YouTube の映るテレビを買って、あなたの動画を見るつもり。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。新しいテレビの代わりにGoogle の Chromecast の方が安いですけど、それ多分2、3千円ぐらいで今持ってるテレビも YouTube が見ることができます。それの方がおすすめ。One of my Japanese viewers said that he or she is planning to buy a new TV, so that a TV with YouTube, so they can watch my videos on the TV. Then I said that, well, if that's the only reason, then I recommend that you buy a Chromecast instead for a few thousand yen. Then you can watch YouTube on the TV without having to buy a new TV. Yeah, there was like some... Which virus was that? A few years ago there was a virus that was carried by mosquitoes, and that there was a few cases here in Tokyo, so people got very concerned, but that's kind of rare. Usually we don't have any dangerous mosquito-borne diseases in Japan. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Zin22. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think it was dengue, not Zika. I don't think Zika ever made its way to Japan, but I think it was dengue, yeah. 何歳ですか？僕は39歳です。ほぼ おじさんでございます。That's right, yes. There's also the Japanese encephalitis, I think it's called in English, which is a mosquito-borne disease, which is around here in Japan. And I actually got vaccinated against that before I moved to Japan. But I think that vaccination, it's not lifelong. I think you need like another booster after like 10 years or something. So I probably need to get that. Our daughter gets vaccinated against that one now, and when you get it as a baby, I think the protection lasts the entire life. But yeah. What time is it there now? It's about 8 o'clock in the evening. It's always relaxing to watch your streams. A lot of us just stress about career and force ourselves to achieve something. Instead, we should listen to ourselves more and do what we enjoy, like you. Thank you, thank you. That's a very nice comment to hear. Yes, I think so too. However, I'm also at times very concerned and stressed about my career. But I must say that since starting this YouTube channel and since reaching a point where I cannot make like a good living or anything from YouTube, but it actually covers my everyday expenses, and that makes me very relaxed and makes me realize that, well, then, you know, if I can just go on walks and, you know, make videos like this, which are pretty simple and basic, and I don't really put that much effort into them, then what would happen if I started putting like, you know, treat this as a real job instead and put like proper energy and effort into making even better videos? And that has made me a bit relaxed in the way that I know that I can probably make that happen if I want to. So I don't really need to worry so much about getting other jobs all the times. So that's a very good thing personally that has come out of running this channel for me. And I think that should apply to anyone. Like if there's anything you want to do, work or career-wise, you can most likely do it if you just dare to take the step and put a bit of hard work into it. I think most things are quite achievable. Things that most people think are impossible may not be so impossible. Now I sound like some sort of self-help guru, so let's stop talking about this. 日本に来て、ずっと東京に住んでるんですか？そうです、そうです。残念ながらずっと東京です。もっと田舎の方とか、もっと小さい町にちょっと住みたいんですけど、まあ仕事のせいで東京にずっといる。Definitely very relaxing and enjoyable. Thank you, Pilot Girl. ありがとうございます。ちょっと名前ちょっとわかんない。なんとか無常チャンネルとか、昔は東京ですけど今九州にいるんですか？そっか、九州結構いいところですね。僕は九州いつか住みたいと思います。Makes a ton of technical test streams by his phone for several $1,000s and says he doesn't put a huge effort into it. Sure. I mean, everything is relative. Phones, yeah. Running this channel was an excuse to buy new phones, but in the end I realized I didn't need to. My old phone was perfectly sufficient, so it wasn't really necessary, and I learned a lesson, but sure. Now I have a wide-angle lens that I can use when I stream in the daytime, and I guess that's for whatever that's worth. Yeah. Okay, let's finish the beer and get going. Mujo channel. なるほど。Mujo. Joel Öhman, you're an office worker and you like that kind of work. Yes, of course. I mean, a lot of people enjoy working in offices or for others, and that's perfectly fine too. Me personally, I've never really felt comfortable having a boss. Every time I've had a boss, I ended up disliking my life. Maybe that means that I was unlucky with my bosses, or maybe it means that I'm not made to work for others. I don't know. But yeah, of course, a lot of people enjoy having like a normal job, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. 北海道行ったことありますか？はい、行ったことあります。3回ぐらいと思いますね。3回行ったことあると思います。Redmans, you still want the new S21? Yeah, it's a good phone, but it's not really that much better than my OnePlus 8 Pro, to be honest. And I find myself using the iPhone 12 Pro Max most of the time. But they're all great phones. They all get the job done. Yes, Miyazaki Chimaki. Yes, the temple is just around the corner, but it's actually closed right now. But I will try to record a 4K video there sometime for you. Where are you originally from? That is also answered in the FAQ in the video description, but yeah, I'm from Sweden. So I'm honored that you expect or thought that I was from a native English-speaking country. That's I think I take that as a compliment. Yes, Toto, I kind of do like iOS. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's different, but it's not bad. Okay, beer is finished, and I am ready to walk. Also finished the semi-dried peach. There wasn't many slices in there, to be honest. Okay, let's get going. Also, I wonder if there's any trash can around here. I doubt it. Slide, someone says. You happy now? bit too small. Should have been 3 times as long. Then it would have been more fun. Very good performance. Thank you. I love that you had to look around. Yeah. Not to see that then no one saw me. Of course, that's fine if someone sees me. I was just a bit curious how far to the side I needed to go in order to not show too much of myself in the frame. Okay, so we are approaching Jiyugaoka. Not very far, not very long to go. Don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. Yeah, please click the like button if you enjoyed my graceful ride down that slide. Jiyugaoka literally means Freedom Hills. Yes, it's a very nice name. I like it. Glad you liked it, Mike. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. It does sound American, yeah, Freedom Hills. Sounds very American when you, now that you mentioned it. And yes, for those of you who want my face reveal, you can join me on Patreon. So for those of you who are new to the channel, you might be interested in knowing that. Yes, I have a Patreon channel, a Patreon page where you can join. Then you get access to few special perks, including Patreon only streams where I do show my face. So if that sounds interesting to you, yeah, now you know. The link is in the video description. And we just passed 125 Patreon supporters, which is a nice little milestone, I think. So thank you everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. You guys mean a lot to me, and you're one of the biggest reasons why I try to do these streams every day. So thank you, honestly, I really mean it. Thank you. Tony, you bought something on the online shop and your parcel didn't come until today. Oh, when did you buy it? How long did it take? I think that shop is, I think they ship from either US or Europe, but right now shipping takes a long time everywhere, like it feels like. I sent some packet to my mom back in Sweden and that took like more than 2 weeks, which is way longer than what it usually takes. Usually it's like 1 week, but I think because of the pandemic it's a little bit extra slow. Pete Smith, you pay for Patreon just to see what I look like. Thank you, thank you. I hope you don't feel like you're being ripped off or that it's a robbery, but if you do, I kind of understand. So it's okay if you wanna leave the Patreon club. It's fine. But I hope you won't. Of course. No, the reason why you should join Patreon is to get access to the Patreon only streams, I think. And also, just for those of you who want to connect a little bit closer, because there's a lot of people watching these streams here on YouTube, and there's a lot of messages all the time, but there's no way that I can respond to everyone and everything. But when it comes to Patreon, I try a little bit harder to reply to messages and engage in conversations there. And I've also been mentioning several times that I'm planning to start a Discord for my Patreon supporters, but that hasn't happened yet, and this is not a promise that it will ever happen, but I hope it will. Now we are almost at Jiyugaoka. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Which train operator do you prefer? I don't really have any preferred train operator. I use whichever I need to. But in general, I prefer trains that are overground rather than underground.そうですね、自由が丘結構静かですね。まあもうちょっと遅いですね。It's pretty quiet here, but it's probably because it's already a bit late. It's like 8 o'clock. So here's the station. Maybe we should actually... Should we cross here? Yeah, let's cross here. 帰りは電車。そうですね。帰りは電車。帰りは歩きたくない。そんなに楽しくない。2回同じ道はちょっと歩きたくない。So yeah, I will go home by train from here. Because it's not so much fun to walk the same street twice, the same road twice, so I won't be doing that. Has Japan opened up a bit? No, restaurants still close at 10 or at 8, sorry, at 8 in Tokyo and a few other prefectures. So it's still under the same state of emergency as before, even though I think some of the restrictions are a little bit looser now. But in general, yeah, it's still, most restaurants close at 8. So here's Jiyugaoka Station, where you can take the Tokyo Oimachi line and also the Tokyo Toyoko line. Toyoko line is the line that connects Shibuya to Yokohama. But it's getting a bit more crowded over here. Guilty Gear Strive. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really into Guilty Gear at all. I hardly played it, actually. I do like Street Fighter, but that's about the only fighting game I know how to play. If you become a patron, do you get the S after your name? No, that's you get that if you join the YouTube page. You can join the YouTube channel by clicking the join button here on YouTube. Then you get that little mark after your name. But you can't see who's on Patreon. It's just the hidden clubs where the cool kids are. So yeah, just a little walk around the station, then I think I will wrap things up just as we hit the 2-hour mark. I think 2 hours is a good length for a pretty basic stream like tonight, when I'm not really going to any super interesting locations. Let's walk down here. Have you ever been to pachinko? I've been once. When I first came to Japan, I was very curious, so I asked one of my Japanese friends to take me to pachinko, and it was pretty awful. It's very, very loud and lots of smoke from people smoking cigarettes, and not fun at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Wait, now I'm a little bit disoriented. No, I think I'm heading this way. I think this is the way I want to be heading. Takematsu, you used to be addicted to pachinko. Ouch. That's not good. I hope you're not addicted to pachinko anymore. Do paid YouTubers have only have their own channel? Why would you pay? Sorry, I don't understand the question. But the reason why you would pay is to show your support. You know, that's what some people like to do when they enjoy someone's work. They think it's nice to show their support by paying a few dollars or so. But it's of course fully voluntarily, so it's not necessary at all. Yeah, it is pretty quiet tonight. When you come to Jiyugaoka on a weekend, it's very, very busy, these streets. But yeah, now it's just a random Wednesday night, and it's just very, very quiet tonight, which is nice. I make videos from all over Japan, but mostly from Tokyo. But sometimes I travel to other parts of Japan as well. If you take a look at the videos on my channel, you will see. Yeah, it's past 8, so I guess all these small restaurants are closed. They probably were open a little while ago, but by now it should all be closed. Oh, but sounds like there's still some people in there. Have you already been to Shinji Yokohama? No, I haven't. So actually up here, that coffee shop, the craft beer and coffee place we passed earlier in the stream, they have a shop here, up there. So that's the one I knew from before. I've been there many times. It's actually a little bit like a co-working space as well. It's pretty big and spacious, and they have good Wi-Fi and power outlets. So it's quite a nice place. So I was happy to see that they opened a new branch closer to where I live. But yeah, I think I will end this stream exactly on the 2-hour mark, which is 1 minute from now. So yeah, thanks a lot everyone who joined me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this little evening walk, and I hope you will join me on my next walk, which may or may not happen tomorrow. I'm not sure. If not tomorrow, probably the day after tomorrow. Okay, so that will be it for tonight. Thank you, and I really hope that you enjoyed that little bonus slide ride. I know that I did. Okay, that's all for tonight. See you next time. Bye bye. Hei do. Mata ne. Auf Wiedersehen.